Hi, my name's Kara. Welcome to this week's video. So I'm an aspiring writer, aspiring author, because I do write. So aspiring author. Currently, I'm working on a book called Seaside Princess, and I'm planning a video where I talk all about it. But for now, this video is about something else. First of all, I gotta tell y'all, I got a mic. So if the audio isn't better, I don't know what to do. So I hope the audio is better. Please tell me that the audio is better. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. It's about realizing that maybe we don't have writer's block. Maybe our creative cup is just empty. So I have my notes right here in my pink journal. Yeah, so basically the idea for this video came because I was having, I guess, writer's block. Or like I would go to sit down and I would want to write, but then I wouldn't be able to. I would just be confused on like what I'm supposed to be writing. Why can't I write? Like I have the will, the desire to write, but it's just not happening. It's just not working. So I kept wondering what is going on? What is happening? And then I was like praying about it. I was like, God, why can't I write? And then God was like, hey dude, if you keep watching these 6-second videos on Instagram, that's not gonna help you. And I was like, you might have a point. You might have a point. You might be saying something here. And then I realized all of like the videos, like I don't have TikTok because I'm trying to avoid that. I've never had TikTok really. And so when the 6-second videos moved over to Instagram, that was my downfall. And so when they show up on Instagram, I just get so annoyed because I'm watching them and it's just like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and I can't even remember what I watched. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I don't, but honestly, I couldn't tell you what I watched. That is like horrible for your creative mind. It was just really important for me to be doing something else with my time. I guess in this fast-paced world, creatives sometimes aren't filling their cup as much, but they're trying to pour out of it. And you can't pour out of an empty cup. You need to put in your cup to pour out of it. Everything in the world can inspire us, but we're not giving ourselves like enough chance, or at least I am. I'm not pouring into myself enough so that I can be inspired by the world around me. So this video is inspired by that experience, but also inspired by my girl, Cozy K. I love her. I love her videos. I will put her in the description. She has inspired me so much. She's in like the gaming, cozy gaming, self-care realm, and I'm in the writing realm right now. So I'm just gonna pull some of that into here so that we can benefit from it as well. So some of the ways that I believe that we can pour back into our creative cup is obviously by reading, because you know, writer girlies love to read, and I think that's wonderful. But I think it's also great to read outside of our normal genre. So things that we're normally not into. Going to the library and just finding random books, things that you would never like normally be interested in, and reading that instead. I actually saw on Reels, someone was like, I love reading a book about trees. I didn't realize I had this passion until I went to the library and picked up a book about trees, and now I love reading about trees. And I'm like, you go girl, you read your books about trees. And same thing about watching movies. So I'm not against media. I'm just against short form media. I just feel like it's not helpful. We don't have time to process it, digest it, really love it, deep dive into it. So I'm a fan of movies. Let's watch movies, long form content, and then also watching movies outside of our genres. Also watching documentaries. I don't think we watch enough of these. I love like the nature documentaries, ones about like animals and stuff. Those, I don't know what is in them, but I love them so much. They're so much fun. Now, I am writing a fantasy book about the ocean, so maybe that's telling you something, but I love learning about like animals, nature, and what's going on in the ocean, what's going on in the rainforest, just things like that. Maybe this is some of my backstory, but marine biology was not on the cards for me, but I still love her. So yeah, watching random documentaries can be super useful. Also, watching old cartoons. I have a secret love for old cartoons. Anything that brings me back to my childhood, I love her. YouTube has a ton of this stuff, like watching Totally Spies, Bratz. There's a few more. Hold on. Totally Spies, Bratz. I know some people like Ever After High. Miraculous Ladybug. Am I saying something about myself? But anyway, watching like PBS Kids, Arthur, some of like the good ones. Obviously your Barbie movies, every girl's gotta be a Barbie girl. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I might put a list up. But the point is, going back to your childhood and seeing the things that originally inspired you. Winx, I forgot about Winx, that was the one. I also have seen Winx in Spanish. It's originally in Italian, but I've seen it in Spanish. And sometimes that's also helpful. If you speak another language or if you're learning another language, it'd be really helpful to just watch it in the other or your second or third language so that you can experience it again. So that's definitely a recommendation of like going back, watching things from your childhood and just enjoying it, letting your mind be at ease. Sometimes you don't want something like too heavy, trying to understand concepts, especially in the climate that we live in right now. It's not really easy to consume heavy content sometimes. So just enjoying content that's meant for kids, but content of the past, they still have good themes. They still are trying to teach children things, but like in a different form. That can be super inspirational and really fill up your creative cup. On YouTube, watching long form like video essays, not all video essays were created equal, but watching some video essays also. I love video games. So watching game dev vlogs, that is super helpful. Just watching them talk about their stuff. I mean, we're all creatives. You see writers, you're literally on my channel where I just say, yeah, about what I'm writing and about books and stuff. I love it here. So video game developers are doing the same thing. Watching like any niche like area and watching the person just delve into why they love it is so much fun. And you can like learn new things. I love watching game dev videos because I want to design a video game one day. As you can see, I'm a creative through and through. I love it. I love it all. It's super fun to watch that and just realize what inspired them to create the video game, what sources they're pulling from, and what helps grow their mind. That is another way of filling your creative cup, watching other creatives just delve into their specific niches, even if that's not something that inspires you. So that's my other thing. Watching random things on YouTube can also really help you. Just make sure they're long form content. Now, you don't have to sit through and watch a whole thing at once. You can watch the bits of it if you only have like 15 minutes. But I think watching one thing for 15 minutes is much better than seeing like 26-second videos that you can't even remember what it's about. I feel like it literally kills our brain cells. Actually having hobbies, actually having real life hobbies. So writing could be a hobby, but it's an outpour, it's an output. I'm talking about things to input into yourself. So things like tactile crafts are super helpful. But before we go there, I am going to talk about obviously reading and video games. So I did mention reading things outside of your genre, but you could also read manga, however you like to pronounce it. But again, showing the people facts about me, things about me. But I do like myself some manga. But the trick is to stay off of our phones and devices. So let's like buy some things. So we can actually buy manga. Yeah. I'm missing like 2 books, but buying physical like manga is so helpful. Just like you want to buy physical books, buy your manga, because then you don't have to, you know, look at the ads and stuff, but also you don't have to worry that a reel is gonna suck the soul out of you. You don't have to worry about getting a TikTok notification. You can also look into reading other forms like webtoons that are printed out. Books are expensive, I understand, but make yourself happy. Why not? This is my retail therapy. I only pulled out 2, but behind me I have, let's see, I have all the way to book 5. I'm still missing like 2 more. I've already read this series actually. This is The Business Proposal. It was made into a K-drama, but it's not as good as the original comic. The comics are so good. The manhwas are so good. So love me that, but physically it's so much fun to like read it. It's a super fast read. That's my only like sad thing, is how quickly you can read them. We might feel tired of reading words, like when your brain feels tired, and that's why we gravitate towards short form media. We have to invest in ourselves if we want to make good form content, if we want to make not just good YouTube videos, but good writing. If you want your writing to be good, you have to invest in yourself and your time. And so when you're tired and just scrolling, and doom scrolling is just not always healthy. Now I get it. Sometimes I just don't want to be perceived. I don't want to perceive. But here are some alternatives, okay? That's all I'm saying. Crocheting. I got into crocheting during quarantine like every other girl. Love her. Super easy to learn. Get on YouTube, learn how to crochet. Love that. Also knitting. Knitting is a little bit harder than crocheting, but I think it's super cool and I hope to get into it one day. There's also drawing. You can follow along with a drawing video, you know, our lovely Bob Ross. Let your imagination run, let your creativity flow, but you can also just color if you don't feel like following along with a video or trying to pull something out of your brain, because that is a form of output. I understand. It's just different, a different part of your brain, so it could be useful. But if you don't want to do that, you can just let someone lead you, and that's a form of creative input as well. And then after that, don't forget about the good old childhood Legos. We got puzzles, we got the dot things, the jewel puzzles. Those are super fun. You can find them at Joann's, which I think is now Michael's, but you can find them at Michael's. You can also get back into clay. Yes, we can do like the 5-minute clay that like dries, or the one that bakes, or you can go take a pottery class. I've been trying to do that, but they can be expensive. So if your girl's on a budget, just get out the the clay. You can get the clay at Michael's, Target, Walmart, and do that stuff with your hands. Look up inspiration if you want. It's super simple, but it's pouring into yourself in a different aspect. Now I get it. Time is a luxury. Having actual time to do that is a luxury. But I'm just saying, if you're already going to be doom scrolling for an hour or 3 minutes, we could try something else. And that way afterwards you feel creatively fulfilled, as opposed to feeling like it just drained the life out of you. You know, like in animes, when you see someone and then you see their soul leave them. Yeah, that's how I feel after doom scrolling. So I'm trying to save you from that. The other thing is crossword puzzles and Sudoku and word searches. We didn't forget about the granny hobbies. I'm a granny through and through. I might look young, but I'm actually a grandmother. So those are some options, but the trick is to keep it as physical as possible. So my sister actually has Sudoku. Physically, we bought it for her recently, and some word searches. So you can do these things on your phone. And I will say, I think it is better to do it on your phone than be doom scrolling. But if you can have it physically, do it physically. And I get it, you know, when you're waiting in line, you pull up your phone and open up Instagram. But we could also be doing a word search. You know, it's not always about trying to be smarter. It's just giving your brain an alternative thing to get into instead of just doom scrolling. If we have a little word search book that we keep in our bag, we can just take that out and do that while we're waiting in line. If you take the train or something, you can do that there. You can do it literally whenever. The same time that you pop out your phone, you can pop out your little Sudoku word search. So it's an option. The other thing is obviously journaling. So I love journaling. I not only talking about writing down my feelings, I'm talking about scrapbooking. You can scrapbook about whatever. So sometimes I'll do it about niche things I'm into. So music band or whatever, the book I just read, C-drama I just finished watching, things like that. That's an option. But you can also just make it random about knickknacks and things you collected. You can also use your stickers. Hold on, I'm gonna go get you my sticker box. Sticker box acquired. This is actually, I'm hitting the mic, sorry. This is actually not my only sticker box. I have a couple. I love collecting stickers. Might be a problem, but we won't talk about that. Anyway, so there's a lot in here, but I just want to let you know it's an option. I have this one's a small one, and it's just full of stickers galore. We love stickers everywhere. So you can just buy yourself some stickers, and actually made these stickers with a silhouette. So there's that. But yes, you can make yourself stickers, you can buy stickers, and put them on everything you own. But you can put them in your journal as well. There's these bears. Let's see what else. There's these things. So I'm a sticker collector through and through, but you actually have to use them. But my point is, you can use that as another creative endeavor, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but it gives your brain another outlet. Also, Legos. I didn't forget Legos. Legos option. Now I know that the flowers, like I have these flowers right here, they can be expensive, but Five and Below, just go to Five and Below, they have like dupes. You can do that. But also just like normal Legos, you can do those. I think it's really fun to like follow along with instructions and just build things instead of using my brain all the way through, because I want to use my brain when I'm doing like serious work stuff, but also when I'm writing. And so giving myself the time to be off and be somewhere else just with my hands is so helpful, so that when I get back on the page, the blank page doesn't scare me. In fact, the blank page inspires me to pour out all that I've poured back into myself. Simple things like making candles. We can make candles. It can be expensive, but you can pick up the things you need. You can buy it on Amazon. You can go to Michael's, but you can make candles. That's an option. Bringing back the 2015 vibes. But also, I love tea. I love making tea. I collect mugs. I collect a lot of things, but I love mugs and I love making tea for myself. So buying like different tea bags, different sweeteners, creamers, like I have so much stuff for tea, but just like making it an ordeal and taking care of myself through making tea. It sounds really small, but it matters. Besides that, you can do other forms of mixology, making yourself drinks, mocktails, looking that stuff up. Pinterest has like so much stuff for that, and the way they present it is so cute. So doing that is really cute. It's like really niche, really random, but you never know. You could enjoy it, you could like it, and instead of spending 5 hours of your day doom scrolling, you made yourself a drink. You're proud of yourself and it tastes good. If it doesn't, you can make another one. Making charms, bracelets, and jewelry. So my friend, actually, this is my bag, and my friend actually made me this one. She's super cute. And I made this bow thing, and it's like has a little charm on it. Super cute. You can buy these like bracelet things, the charms on Amazon. You can also buy them at Michael's. Again, I want to find all of the things that are cost effective, but just having it around for yourself helps you when you're like, man, I want a brain off moment. I have these things here and I can do them. So those are just some ideas. You can also make them for your friends. If your love language is gift giving, like mine is, making them for your friends could be really nice, really sweet. It's such a personalized gift. So there's an option. And then lastly, I want to talk about writing. Other forms of creative writing that's not just your current work in progress. So poems. This is really for me. I don't write enough poems. I think I used to write poems a lot, actually, like in high school, but I don't write poems anymore. And I think having a book, like a little journal where I just pour out random poems would be really helpful. Like I'm not writing to a diary and I'm not writing about my story, but it's a different form. It's letting my brain stretch, not just in the confines of my story, but somewhere else. So I think writing poems could be really helpful. I know other writers on AuthorTube do this, so I want to try to start doing that. Also, writing random nonsense. Like you could write poems, but you could also just write whatever. Kind of like when people have the commonplace notebooks, those kind of things. Just letting yourself be free in your creative space is so important, because I feel like when I'm writing, I'm taking myself so seriously. And I get it, it's my first draft, but even after the first draft, I want it to be good. Like I wouldn't do it if I didn't want it to be good, technically. But just not taking myself as seriously, giving my brain time to breathe, because she's got some good stuff in there. But if I don't pour into myself to see some of that really amazing stuff, I'm never gonna get there. So these were just some of my tips and like hobbies and just alternatives to just being like, I have writer's block because I can't write anything. And you have the option of doing something else, of getting into other hobbies, of having other interests, playing video games, doing something else, and being like, wait, I'm so inspired, I can't wait to write, instead of letting the internet, social media suck the time and soul away from you. And obviously, at the end of the day, instead of doom scrolling, you could be writing your story, because she's not gonna write herself. But that's a topic for another day. If you're unable to write, you can pick from one of these hobbies. So yeah, I hope that this was super helpful, and this video is really for me, okay? This was like a few weeks ago when I realized I was like, this is ridiculous, I just can't write. And then when I started pouring back into myself, I was like, wait, I can write. Also, I didn't mention physical activity. That's super important. You should do that. And it doesn't have to be like going to the gym, like a rigorous regime. Just something chill, going for walks, seeing nature. I like roller skating because if you tell me we're gonna work out and I have to do it at the gym, sometimes I'm not into that. But if you tell me it's just roller skating, I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. And you can like look at nature and listen to music. That sounds like a great option. So that's also an option. But whatever you find works for you, do it. But just know that there are always other options. So yeah, I hope it was super helpful. We'll see when I see you again, when I post another video. But I just want to thank you guys for all the support and love that you've given me so far. This is literally why I joined OtherTube. I've been having a great time. I love it here. And yeah, good luck on your projects, and I'll see you when I see ya.